Good morning, fellow Malaysians. This is Matthias Chang, once again from Future Fast Forward. Today, in my address, I want to expose thoroughly the hideousness, the sinister nature, the DNA of Pakatan Harapan. How it is all rotten to the core. Many of you have contacted me and asked me, why have I turned my back on Pakatan Harapan even before their collapse in February of this year? Now, there's nothing odd. Before the 14th general election, we had no choice, all of us in this country. Our objective was to get rid of Najib Razak for his crimes, what NDB, what have you. And we had to compromise, and I emphasize the word compromise, with DAP, PKR, Amanah. Okay? Because we had to unite at that stage to get rid of the main problem facing our country, the Najib kleptocracy. But we had no illusion, for that matter, I had no illusion that DAP, PKR, and Amanah are not what they make themselves out to be. But because they make promises, we can only test them when they're in power, whether they will live up to what they have promised to all of you, the riot of Malaysia. Alright? Because until you test them, you won't know. And they have stated many times, they are better than Barisan Nasional. Give us a chance. So as a matter of reasonableness and be pragmatic, we gave them a chance. And Pakatan Harapan screwed up big time. And I've said repeatedly in all my other videos, what's the message to all of you? Pakatan Harapan are a bunch of useless scumbags, liars, right? Fake news, and mainly propaganda. I've also said for almost 2 years, 22 months, they kept nothing at all. The priority was to install Anwar as a prime minister. And every other day, every week for 22 months, the only topic within the mass media and within your own media was how to get rid of Mahathir and install Anwar as prime minister. On the side of PKR, DAP, and Amanah. And on the Brazilian side, on the part of Tun Mahathir, how to carry on being in power as long as possible. So there was just two contention, and the total focus was one of power. And it's very clear that neither side trusted each other. And both sides were making use of each other. But PKR were more sinister. Their goal was never about the country. Their goal was to install Anwar Ibrahim as the prime minister. Okay? And the slogan, Reformasi, was pure propaganda, fake news, hollow, nothing. Alright? And we have a top propaganda spin doctor of Rafi Sisi. He said he's the only one who can guarantee Anwar Ibrahim to be the prime minister when he took on Azmin for the deputy president post. He lost. And today, despite his bravado and all his nonsense, Anwar is out of the picture. Let me say very clear to all of you, my fellow Malaysians, okay? I can assure you, Pakatan Harapan is dead. Finished. Sad to say, I can also say, Tun Mahathir will never again be the prime minister or to regain political power to support our country for his own power and that of his son Mukesh Mahathir to establish a dynastic regime in our country. Or neither will he be able to subvert Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin as the Prime Minister of Malaysia. Okay. Secondly, I can guarantee you, Anwar Ibrahim is also finished as a politician. And Pakatan Harapan, whatever coalition they were before, is merely a bunch of make-believe. Chameleons, con artists, political con artists, and opportunists. Why did I say that? Now, just a couple of days ago, it was published by MSN News and also Free Malaysia Today that Anwar Ibrahim declared openly he can't trust Mahathir. Now, if he can't trust Mahathir and the Pakatan Harapan wants to be in power again, are we so stupid that Pakatan Harapan will deliver the goods to Malaysia? I can tell you without hesitation, it'll be another, right, wayang kulit of two people fighting for power for themselves. Although they say they are the champions for the Malay community, for Islam, okay, and equality. All bullshit. Alright? For almost 2 years they were fighting like cats and dogs. And they've been no different. And thank God they're not in power, because what has been going on since February of this year shows their DNA is a sham. The opportunists, chameleons, talking cock and bull. Why do I say that? Okay, now this is, alright, the news item reported by FMT and also MSN News. Anwar tells of distrust about naming Dr. M as PM. When you watch this video, pause and make sure you read all the words that's been underlined and bold. Okay? Right? This is the first page of the news report. Pause the video and read those underlined words here and in bold. In the second page, it's very clearly what Anwar says. Based on our experience, we cannot trust him 100%. Can you imagine? Okay? Pause your video and read those words again and again until it is tattooed in your brain. You got it? Okay. So now, this is what I say. This is what Anwar says about Tun Mahathir. Alright? At one time, his boss in Pakatan Harapan. Now, can you see how devious he was? When he submitted his name as Prime Minister to the Agong, remember, in February, because upon the resignation of Tun Mahathir and the collapse of Pakatan Harapan in February 2020, there ought to have been an election. But everyone, all the MPs, 222 says, no, we do an election. We will surrender to Agong's wisdom and discretion to appoint a new Prime Minister. You follow me? Right. Recall, recall. And they went by the busloads, PKRDP, to the palace to pour out to Agong, to try to convince Agong that they were suitable to continue. Okay? Then what happened? Anwar submitted an application to Agong that he could be the Prime Minister. He has the majority. It's in February, yeah? And then Agong says, you don't qualify, you don't have the majority. Then what happens? So desperate to empower, he then told Mahathir, please, lead us again to power. Apply to be the Prime Minister. So in February, when he failed to be a Prime Minister, he was so desperate. He had full trust in Mahathir. Mahathir, please lead us to be the Prime Minister. Okay? But they could not fool the Agong. They were so confident that they have Agong in their pocket. But in the opening of Parliament, okay, recently, Agong says what? When Tun saw him in the palace, alright, Tun was complaining. He can't be Prime Minister anymore. Finish. He's fed up. And then Agong says, don't resign. Please continue. Tun says, no way, I insist. So he was very emphatic. He doesn't want to be Prime Minister anymore. And then Agong says, well, then I have to appoint a new Prime Minister, isn't it? So in the interim, can you carry on for a while? He agreed. Tun agreed, understand? He didn't want to be Prime Minister anymore. He's fed up. He's pissed off. He refused to withdraw his resignation. But as a small compromise, pending Agong appointing a new Prime Minister, which will exclude him, right? Exclude Tun because he doesn't want it. Anwar don't qualify anymore. So these two cannot be in contention. Anwar Ibrahim rejected. Tun Mahathir didn't want it. So Agong interviewed all the other MPs. Follow me? Recall that, huh? So when Anwar failed to be the Prime Minister to convince Agong that he support all the MPs, he then in desperation says, Tun, be the Prime Minister, go see Agong again. And Tun did try to see Agong. Agong says, piss off. You don't want to be Prime Minister. How can I appoint you again? You agreed to be interim while I appoint another person. Can you see? They lied to Agong and to the people. Right? And Tun Mahathir cannot have no basis whatsoever to criticize Agong for not answering him, because he told Agong he's resigned, finished. So obviously and objectively, Agong was right. You can't say A one day, flip-flop, and say B another day. More importantly, Anwar told Mahathir, you can win. Be the Prime Minister again. That means in February, right, Anwar has no qualms, to repose his trust 1000% into Mahathir. Because he failed to be a Prime Minister. He can't convince Agong. And all the interview in the palace shows he didn't get the majority. Can you see now? Twist and turn, flip and flop. A fork tongue, the expression used by the Native Americans. White men speak with fork tongue. Anwar was speaking fork tongue. But now you realize, since Tun Mahathir cannot be the Prime Minister, he cannot also be the Prime Minister. Did he expect Agong would appoint Tuan Sri Muhyiddin? Understand? So, the allegation of backdoor government doesn't exist, it's a rise. Because all of them didn't want to have election. Just for argument's sake, right, to some of the people who are so thick in their head, if the government's collapse, by right, there must be election. By right. Right? Agong has the power to summon, prorogue, and dissolve Parliament. But because all the MPs says, don't dissolve Parliament, you appoint. So if Agong had appointed one of the MPs from Pakatan Harapan, right? Would they call them the government backdoor? They will be backdoor because there's no election. They collapse. They fail the people. Okay, follow me. But because they didn't get it, and they were so confident that they will get the premiership, when Muhyiddin Bersatu got it, they were angry. They couldn't believe it. Alright? The odds were so against Muhyiddin. Alright? They were so arrogant, so conceited, so self-centered. There's only two people can be Prime Minister. Tun Mahathir or Anwar. No one else. Can you see now? The anger, the frustration. Right? This is coming out, post the appointment of Muhyiddin. So there was a plot, intense plot, right, to malign the new government, right? And he gave all kind of reasons, flip-flop. And then what happens? Tun Mahathir then say, hey, actually, I don't trust Anwar. He's not fit to be a prime minister. Can you see? Alright? So for a few months, while we are suffering, people are dying, we try to save lives under MCO, they were talking nothing but power. Can you see now? They don't care about you, understand? Your business, your family, your income, your suffering. No. They only care about power. Anybody sent in the way is a bastard, is an enemy. Destroy them. And then they said, okay, let's reconstitute the Pakatan Coalition to Pakatan Plus. You see? Hey, they're not 100 plus lah. The drink, 100 plus is energy, 100 plus. You drink that, you get more energized, more active. This Pakatan 100 plus is bohong. No plus lah, it's minus. You know why it's minus, not plus? Because plus means, right, you accept Mahathir, say. Even though he's past his shelf life, they try and talk. And then Mahathir says, right, and DB says, hey, it will be in writing, Mahathir will be in power for 6 months only. 6 months, huh? Then they flip-flop. Too short lah. Maybe 1 year. Can you see? They change it. Never mind. Forget about 1 year. 6 months. See the fantasy and the stupidity of a lot of people, right, who didn't listen. They're armchair critics and they talk to me time after time. And they're doctors, engineers, lawyers, PhD, free donkeys, MBA, master bullshit artists, BSc, bloody screw-ups, and what have you. Okay? Now, they're not in power, right? Am I right? But they say Mahathir can be prime minister for 6 months. We're now in June. 6 months means, right? July lah. Okay, I give them face lah. July lah. Huh? So July, December, 6 months. So they are so cuckoo, so screwed up, right? Angin in the brains, angin. Are they saying they can get power by end of June? So that Mahathir becomes a prime minister and depart in December, bye-bye, and give to Anwar 6 months. Even we're not in power, can you imagine? Fantasy, cock and bull. And then to Mahathir says recently, I was stepped down after APEC in November. Now how ludicrous is all this stupid nonsense? And you guys out there believe this nonsense. For heaven's sake, put your family first, okay? Their life, their health, their welfare. Your business first. Tell me honestly. Since March, right? Our government, the new government under the leadership of Tashudin Yassin, right, have done so many things to cushion, right, the downturn, solve a lot of problems. Not perfect because it cannot be perfect solution because this unprecedented crisis, understand? Double whammy. Whole nation shut down plus economy. And Tun Mahathir says it's a catastrophe, unprecedented. But what did they do? Their mouth shut. They didn't say anything or do anything. Debate in parliament. If there's a solution, none came out. Understand? These are scumbags, all bastards, political bastards. Understand? Okay? Alright? While Tashudin Muhyiddin is working very hard with his team. And any insult, whether you're Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, or Hindu, you bunch of idiots out there, say what I know. How mean can you be? How bastardly can you be? How sinful can you be? Oh, a prime minister having cancer will die and will be now infected by COVID-19. What kind of man or woman or parent or business leader are you guys out there who were perpetuating this rumor spread widely by Sarawak Report, all right, that the medical report even was tempered? How bastardly are you people? You wish the worst for another person, a living person? A living person who was sick at that time, fought and campaigned. Half of you, 90% of you would have, right, given up, right? Retired, right? A small heart attack, you guys will retire. Won't do anything. But he fought for the country. And so far, he has done beautifully, wonderfully, unprecedented. But you people go down the gutter and spew filth. All right? Sinful filth. He's going to die. He's suffered COVID-19. How bastard can you be to wish the worst for another person? You can't even do this with your enemy, understand? What more, our Prime Minister? That shows how low they were. And this came out from the opposition party, understand? Bastards! But not bastards all. Right? And you want them to be in power? Ask yourself, can these people fit to be in power? When you wish the worst for another person who were their colleagues before. Alright? And now, let me read to you what Anwar says about Mahathir. Opening our global love, at first they pretend, I love you, you love me. Alright? Meantime, plotting and plotting. Okay, till now. And then, there was a proposal. To Mahathir Prime Minister, Anwar Deputy Prime Minister. Another proposal, Anwar Prime Minister, wow! Nepotism. Mukesh Deputy Prime Minister. Right? Didn't work, all rejected. See, they're still fighting, right? They only care about who wants to lead and have power. Not right. Let's come together, do something positive. Support the government first. No. So what is what I say? I read to you now. You pause the video and read what I told you to read, okay? Anwar Ibrahim tonight revealed that there were feelings of distrust among Pakatan Harapan leaders about Dr. Mahathir Mohamad being named as the PH candidate to be the Prime Minister again should the coalition regain power. Should, okay, distrust. So how can any coalition be effective if they have so much distrust among themselves? Understand? You guys out there, bastard businessmen who contact me, right? Would you go into business with another person you distrust? Where your money is at stake, your business at stake. You won't do that, isn't it? So don't sit there as abject critic and talk to me, okay? You don't trust your partner in business, right? To be your partner, right? Can you trust a bunch of scumbags who have declared openly, we don't distrust, we distrust PM Mahathir should they get power? So when they propose that Anwar be the Prime Minister, Mukesh be the Deputy Prime Minister, dynastic, Mahathir shot down the idea as they wanted to be the Prime Minister third stint. See, he's 95 years old. Come July this month, he still wants to be Prime Minister third time. For almost 2 years, he did nothing. Fight with Anwar. No focus on the country. When we had the COVID-19, he didn't even declare MCO. Thank God, Muhyiddin came into the picture and saved the country from the mess. Never mind. So Mahathir says, I want to be the Prime Minister, my way or no way. Okay, good. Then Anwar, so fed up. Everything was discussed, but he was adamant. Mahathir was adamant. He said this. He said distrust arose when terms were set. Should Mahathir be named as the candidate? the fact that the agreement had to be signed, stipulating Mahathir to be at the helm for 6 months, meant there was suspicion. Can you imagine? Okay? No, it's true. Even if there was a signed agreement, Mahathir for 6 months, that itself, that since you require a signed agreement, shows, right? No one trusts Mahathir. Even DAP. No oral, as lawyers, as all people, right? Our word is our bond, isn't it? Our word is our bond, If you trust some person, you don't need to have, right? Agreement. Handshake. But he says here, DAP, 6 months, Anwar, signed. What Anwar says, the fact that you signed the agreements, right? You don't trust the bastard, isn't it? The asshole, the scumbag. Therefore, you need the agreement. But the agreement, it was writing, right? It's no use, can be torn, isn't it? That's what Anwar says, right? 6 months meant there was suspicion, okay? And then he goes on, this is crucial. Based on our experience, we cannot trust him 100%. Ayo, there you are. It's worse than a divorce, though. Right? In divorce, right? The wife can still love the wife or husband. There's still some residual love. It's just based on our experience. What's the experience? Almost 2 years in power. We cannot trust him. Not just Anwar, no. We. I don't know who's talking about it. He used the word we. 100%. Can you imagine? So you guys out there telling me, Matthias, why you wait Pakatan Harapan lah? They are good goodies lah, all virgins, holy and thou righteous. Here you are. The bloody dog barking at you, saying to you, right? Hey, we don't care about you lah. It's us lah. We decide lah. We, Pakatan Harapan, will decide for you. The deplorables, right? That's how they treat you, isn't it? Like Hillary in America. You riot, don't count. You are deplorables. We decide. If you don't trust Mahathir, you have to accept it. You have to trust me 100%. What has he done? For 2 years, Anwar, nothing. Then he says, right? Anwar went on to say that he could not accept Mahathir's proposal of being reappointed to the post as he was not confident in nation's best interest. Adding that 6 months was too short a period to overcome economic challenges in a post-COVID-19 era. Then he says, Anwar said he will be in different positions should he be Mahathir's deputy. I joke with my colleagues from PH, how long must I suffer? Enough is enough. Okay? See, it's all about his person, I suffer enough. Therefore, I must be Prime Minister. Is that a criteria why you should appoint a Prime Minister? Because someone suffered enough? If there's no smoke, there's no fire, isn't it? Long story lah. Okay? Almost 20 years, out of power, no experience, doesn't know anything. 2 years, he saw a reformist agenda, none was implemented. Instead, his people, Latifah Khoya, Thomas AG, Director of MACC, right? The seconded DPP and all his people, right? Big funny things there. And then pretend to attack the present government and blame Muhyiddin for the so-called deal with Rizal Aziz and MACC. Hey, that deal was done by who? By those scumbags. By who? By the Page government. Understand? And try to blame it on Muhyiddin in November. And then this asshole Anwar in a statement says, alright? He criticized the MACC over the Rizal Aziz settlement. But who created the settlement? Latifah Khoya. Okay? He then advised the AG, accept it. Then he demanded, right, answers from Latifah Khoya. Right? Then what happens? Abis attacking him. Hey, Anwar, you scumbag. Account to us. Accountability. Transparency. That's what he demanded, isn't it? Huh? Latifah, his mouth shut. Everybody shut their mouth, you know. That's what happened. Now, he demand answers from Latifah. Latifah kept quiet and told Anwar, hey, up yours lah. Up yours! So why has he not come up with a statement as to what happened between him and Latifah Koya? Nothing. Silence. Now it's over. Water under the bridge, swept under the carpet. This is the guy. Can you see his face? Can you trust his face? He said he can't trust Mahathir. Okay. But can you trust his man? His face. Look at his face. Look at him. Can you trust him? So if you can't, and they've shown to you, his own words, I didn't say it, I quoted them from the press. Based on our experience, we cannot trust him, Mr. Mahathir, 100%. How long must I suffer? Enough is enough. So suffering is the benchmark or qualification to be the Prime Minister. Oh, he suffered. We are putting the life and future of our country to a person like him, Wayang Kulit, right? A chameleon, flip-flop. So therefore, all right, please, you people have no basis to say you don't know what's going on, right? You all follow social media. The whole trouble is all of you, most of you, right, are too lazy to do research, you know. Okay, you want some shock sendiri, you know, 5 minutes in, 5 minutes out. Look at the headlines only, you know. But don't analyze. And talk cock. And spreading the false propaganda by Anwar and Mahathir. There's you people out there, all right, who contact me and ask nonsense, okay? Right? See, the whole time, a lot of these people who are armchair critics, who are businessmen, they did nothing. They didn't have a finger in the last election. And they want to get the glory, you know. And they have contributed to the victory. Right? They did nothing. Right? They're just brainwashed assholes. The country don't need them at all. Let me share with you this. I'll tell the truth now. Okay. It's very difficult to accept truth, isn't it? And very few people have the balls to talk truth to power. Right? So I don't give a shit whether you support me or don't support me. Alright? Whether you accept what I say. Truth must come out. And I know when truth is spoken, it's a matter of time before the people who are blinded by assholes, supporters, die-hard supporters of Pakatan Harapan, alright, will be exposed. Truth will come out. Right? This is very natural in the form of war. These people, die-hard supporters, scumbag supporters, okay, muddy the waters. But let me say to all of you, right? God is great, I said. They will suffer the law of karma. Okay? In time to come, justice will prevail. Truth will prevail. That's why I said in every my video address to all of you. Surrender absolutely to Allah. Have absolute faith that He will protect us, defend us, and guide us under all circumstances. Okay, get that. I'm not religious, I'm a sinner, I tell you openly. But whatever faith I have is based on truth and justice. Okay? Yet, have you noticed? There's always a period of mess and screwed up. Have you heard any of the leaders of Pakatan Harapan telling you to have faith in God Almighty? That we will overcome COVID-19? We will overcome the mess as a result of COVID-19? Right? So please, because if you get out of the light, I will whack you. Okay? This is a promise I make. Because I'm fed up, right, of the lies you people, that supporters of Pakatan Harapan, spewing. Enough. This is a crisis that was not caused by Muhyiddin Yassin. COVID-19 is a global crisis. The financial crisis is also global, unprecedented. Okay? Don't expect this government to resolve this in by end of the year or next year. Not possible. Okay? You better pull up your socks, tighten your belts, and prepare for at least minimum 2 years of suffering. Okay? Anything good is a bonus. Because if you say, right, how come no progress by end of this year, I will whack you. I will name you personally and expose you guys trying to use all this subterfuge, underhand methods to attack the government. Because you did nothing for the country. You offer no solution, whereas the government is working night and day, right, to give solutions. Okay? So if any of you, let me warn all of you, I know your names and where you are, they attack the government did not do enough, I will whack you. Because it's a work in progress. No one has a solution. No one in America, UK, Germany, Europe, China, or Russia. No one. Every country is now working the guts out to find a solution that fits their own country. There's no one solution for the whole world. Okay. And I guarantee you, it won't work. 6 months won't work. You won't have this kind of nonsense. Okay? Now let me tell you some luck. I'll tell you what before I close, right? Very important. Okay? Lot of so economists, political analysts tell you a lie. Alright? I'm saying minimum damage to our economy will have minus 10%. Minus 10%. Okay? But then some people say, oh, by next year, we will have, right, 2% growth. Or whatever. In various countries, some say 2%, 1%, 3%. Okay? I'm saying Malaysia will have at minimum minus 10%. In UK, they say 20%, 30%, whatever. If next year you have growth of 2%, okay? The graph cannot be like this. This graph is a wrong graph. It's bullshit graph. Okay? Let's bear this in mind. Why? Here, minus, 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 minus. Okay? So if you are minus 10 in 2020, you have growth of 2%. You cannot have the growth on up beyond the zero level. Understand? If you have a bar chart to show growth above the zero line, you're lying. How many of you bastards, right, have told this lie? If you're minus 10 this year, you have plus 2 next year, 2 will be minus 8, understand? Still minus. If you have 3 in 2022, alright? 8 minus 3 is still 5, negative. You understand? Doesn't mean like you say I'm minus 10 this year, this I have 2, you have 2% growth. It's a lie. To have 2% growth above the zero level, that means you have 12%. Am I right? You asshole. So stop talking cock to me, okay? Minus 10, before it can be the positive territory, it must go back to zero first, is it? That means it must have 10% growth to go back to zero. To have a positive territory in the opposite territory above zero, you must have at least 12% or 11%. Minus 10 to 0 plus 1. So when someone says, assholes, experts, PhDs, right, say next year we're going to have 2% growth, when we are minus 10, we are still minus 18. If we're minus 6, we have 2% growth, we are still minus 4. You understand that? Do you understand that? There's no way, I'm telling you, okay, we can have, right, growth to wipe out and totally the contraction of the economy and show a positive development. No way at all. So this kind of graph, right, shows minus, minus, minus. 4 years of minus before growth. So I'm telling you, okay, don't you dare say this government must give us growth by December. No way. And you don't blame Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin or the government. Because it's the mathematical impossibility. If you have minus growth this year, be it minus 10 or minus 6, and 2021, end of December 2021, you have 2% growth, If it's minus 10, it's still minus 8. If it's minus 6, it's still minus 4. You understand that? So don't talk cock, okay? And let's be real for a while, alright? When we talk about economics, livelihood of people, survival, let's be real. Don't bring in politics and propaganda. Okay? With that, let me sum up again. Why I'm so confident. Pakatan Harapan is finished. It's a carcass. Mahathir will never get any more power anymore whatsoever. He will never be a prime minister again. Never. Anwar can no longer have any political power at all. Zero. To subvert our country or to subvert our prime minister. And he will not be the prime minister. I guarantee you. Okay. Now this is what I said today. Today is the 23rd of June, 10 o'clock. Record in your diary. This is a foresight, a forecast. Not with hindsight. I dare say time after time. I don't speak with hindsight, I speak with foresight. So I'm warning you. Okay? Be real. Focus on the economy. Focus on the future of our country, and focus on your family. Okay? Don't listen to all this rubbish. All this rubbish. Don't bother. He's an asshole, okay? He's a scumbag. Don't waste your time. Okay? Wake up. With that, I conclude once more. Please, now's the time in crisis. I don't care whether you are Christian or whatever. The crisis is right. Have faith in God. God will save us if you have faith in God. With that, I thank you for your attention. Be you a good day and a good week. Thank you.